All right, everybody. I am here with John Dobbin from Pileus, and John was one of the speakers this week. Not today; it was yesterday.
Right,
actually,
yesterday morning
here at ITNation Secure. And so, John, what was your topic on?
My topic was on developing security culture, and whether that be within your MSP or within your client base, and all of the different pieces that need to be addressed in order to be able to be successful.
Okay. So culture is huge when it comes to security because most of the problem is people.
Absolutely.
Right? People are the problem when it comes to security. So what specifically are some of the things that we can do around culture in our MSP, first of all, to help with security? But then also, I kind of think maybe, and I don't know if you agree or not, that it's almost our job as the MSP to get that culture built at our clients as well.
It's certainly going to be an item that we'll need to address with our clients, but if we don't address that with our clients, or if we don't address that internally first, then we're not going to be able to really help our clients.
Right.
Okay? So as far as one thing that we can do internally, and it was one of the things that I talked about, is to establish a culture owner. That's somebody that's non-technical, that's easy to talk to.
Right.
Somebody to be that cheerleader. The big distinction of why that's important is that you want somebody, let me back up a little bit. Because it's everybody's part, everybody plays a part.
Right.
Okay? And it's so important for everybody to have a part. But if everybody is in charge, then nobody's in charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's important to have one person to be that cheerleader, that fan that keeps driving the initiatives forward.
Right.
And then from there, you worry about all of the different areas that you need to get buy-in from leadership, from the employees. Take it out to further to that next extreme. You know, there's a lot of concern about the supply chain.
Yep.
You know, incorporate your culture in how you select your vendors. You know, you can build a very robust culture by expanding that circle of influence to include everyone that's involved.
Right, because security is not just about protecting an endpoint, protecting a perimeter, protecting a cloud instance.
Right.
It goes all the way back to vendor selection, vendor vetting, vendor management.
Absolutely.
And other pieces of the business where critical information can get out that then that information can be used to threaten the business.
Right. And the thing is it's not always going to be a technical reason why it gets out.
Right.
In fact, one of the data points that I shared was that in the most recent Verizon DBIR, 68% of incidents had human error as a factor.
Yep.
To me, and this goes from all of my experience leading up to today, is that it's always been the human factor where I felt that somebody that doesn't have a lot of resources to apply to security, the best bang for the buck is to start with their people.
Yes.
And start building that culture. And then as they identify the gaps, as their maturity rises, okay, then they can start building in the additional controls and the policies and the procedures and start expanding that circle in order to be able to grow.
Yeah. And, you know, from my own experience, you know, the phishing emails, all of that, you know, that is the vectors by which these humans get attacked and then therefore the threat actors gain access to the business. Building that culture, number one, I think makes everybody aware, but then if you really build that culture up, you can almost probably gamify it, I would think.
Oh, absolutely.
So that you actually make security fun instead of the drag that it's been for so long.
Right. And there's a number of ways to gamify that. There are vendors that offer incentive program capabilities,
right,
so that you can say, okay, well, here's going to be our monthly security benefit, and the person, say, that has the highest score in the training portal is going to win enough points in our portal here in order to be able to trade that for maybe a Starbucks gift card or maybe an Amazon gift card, you know. So there's that, okay, the incentives. I call that the bribery technique, okay. But there's other ways to do it too. But because by including all of the employees and getting their feedback, they're going to be able to look around and start seeing that there's other places that can be improved.
Right.
So it's not just saying, hey, I'm going to get the management team on board, and of course management buy-in is critical for it to be successful, but at the same time, I'm going to listen to the employees and be able to take that back up and go, well, maybe we need to make some changes. And the reason why I've always felt that was important is that when taken to its logical extreme, when you take it beyond security and apply it to other operations, I really believe that starting with the security culture can lead to other operational efficiencies being discovered, and instead of being a cost, being a way to become more profitable.
I actually didn't think about that. That's a great twist to put on it, and it really does help. It almost, I mean, we know that we need to reduce risk, but operational efficiency can actually build profit margin, and so it's just another way to get in with, especially selling it to clients. Because with us, with MSPs, we should be doing security no matter what.
Absolutely.
But with the client, you almost have to give them more than just that reduction in risk.
Right. And being able to educate them on where it could go for them.
Right.
Okay? Because the cost of entry on building culture is very low. It's really just a conversation. Ultimately, at the end of the day, all of it is just conversation and education. And critically, listening. Getting the feedback in order to be able to help iterate the process and iterate the culture and be able to keep it up to date with what's going on. What's the threat landscape? How do those threats affect our company or our customers' companies? That's the thing that has been my thing that's kept me up at night over the years. You know, how do I properly affect in a positive way the security for the businesses that we support? How do we make sure that those businesses stay in business? Because the stats on this is ridiculous. Okay? 40% of all small businesses that have an incident will close because of that incident. 60% of all small businesses that have an incident won't survive 5 years.
Those are staggering.
It's incredibly staggering.
And they've been around for a while.
Right.
Those statistics are nothing new.
No, they're not, and they're not going away.
Yeah, and that's the bad part. They're not going away.
So that makes me think about, okay, well, how can we help these small businesses start something, start somewhere? Even if they don't have the funding to be able to do all the fancy tools and all of that in order to be able to put up the technical guardrails. Well, let's start with some human ones. Let's start building some better human firewalls and put some things in place to be able to help those businesses thrive.
Exactly. Awesome. So, John, thank you so much for bringing this topic to ITNation Secure. Thank you for sharing it with the All Things MSP crew and channel, and I look forward to the stuff that you're going to do in the future.
I'm happy to be here. This has been a really wonderful experience.
Awesome. Great. And I'll report back to John, too.
Right on. Thank you.